What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Before we dive in, Sorting Hat Squad is on. So if you like the video and comment hashtag Sorting Hat Squad, I will pick 3 people to win a free month in my inner circle. I'll do that right now before we get into it. Now, we're gonna talk about the best protein options you can have in order to lose weight. But before we discuss the actual options, it's important to clarify any protein or any food in general, specifically in isolation, combination of which no food is going to cause you to lose weight. There is no magical fat burning food, there's no magical fat burning drink, there's no magical fat burning macronutrient, protein, carbs, fats. None of that exists. The only way to lose weight is to first and foremost be in a calorie deficit. If you don't know what that means, or if you don't know how many calories you should eat to lose weight, click the link in my description. I have a calorie calculator for weight loss. It's 100% free. It's here on YouTube. The link is in the description, and it will outline exactly how many calories you need to eat in order to lose weight sustainably over the long term. Now, with that said, protein is very helpful if you want to lose fat for a number of reasons, and I know I've spoken about this a billion times ad nauseum. So if you want to skip ahead to the actual foods, by all means. Briefly, one of the reasons protein is so helpful if you want to lose weight is because out of protein, carbs, and fats, the 3 macronutrients, protein will fill you up the most. And as we all know, if you're trying to lose weight, you're going to get a little bit hungry. So the more we can take advantage of finding foods that will help keep you full longer, the better. And protein will do that. The other reason protein is super important during fat loss is because it's the only macronutrient out of protein, carbs, and fats that can help you build and maintain muscle. Right? So by emphasizing protein throughout your diet, you're going to be able to stay full for longer, and it's going to help you maintain your muscle mass, which is incredibly important because a lot of people, when they reduce calories, they don't keep protein high enough, so they lose muscle mass, which is arguably one of the worst things that can happen when you're trying to lose fat. So keeping your protein high is super helpful for those reasons. With that said, let's get into it. So what we did here before we started filming is we drew, and actually, I'm gonna give myself some credit here. I drew all of these. And if you've watched my videos in the past, which actually if you haven't, you should subscribe and go watch all my old videos. But if you've seen my videos in the past, I suck at drawing. But we went on Google Images and looked up all of these, and I basically just copied them, and I'm pretty happy with how they came out. I decided to do this because some people love to just skip through these YouTube videos. They just jump to the points they think that are gonna be most beneficial, which I get it, but I want you to watch the whole video, because sometimes you miss important things, and then you ask questions in the comment section that I answered in the video, and then I have a conniption. So I drew all of them out. There are some that you might not understand just by looking at the picture, so just watch the whole video with me. We'll get through it together. First one, I was super proud of this. This is a rotisserie chicken, obviously. It's a really good drawing. It's not the only option, right? So you could have chicken, you could have pork, you could have beef, you could have turkey, you could have deer, you could have whatever. These are all great options for meat. I did the rotisserie chicken for 2 reasons. Number one, I wanted to draw it, and I think it would look really cool. I think it came out pretty good. The other reason is because it's relatively inexpensive, very good tasting, and super convenient. It's like, in my personal opinion, it's the most convenient, readily available option that is not very expensive. So for me, out of a whole rotisserie chicken, you can get at least 4 meals out of it, a good 4 protein portion sizes, and it just tastes amazing. But again, many other options as well in any meat or pork or fish, or actually we're gonna talk about fish down there. I'm gonna stop talking, we're gonna go to the next one. And now we find ourselves at eggs. And I know there are gonna be people in the comments section who are like, oh my God, eggs are so bad for you. They're going to ruin your cholesterol and kill you. No, they're not. Eggs are very healthy for you. They have a ton of health benefits. High quality fats, high quality protein, only about 70 calories per egg with about 6 grams of protein, and they fill you up. I very much recommend adding more eggs in your diet. And if you're one of the people who are like, oh my God, eggs are gonna kill me, I don't know what to do, please just do a little bit of cursory research. I promise you, they're totally fine. I have a lot of videos on that in my YouTube channel. Go dig through those. There's a lot of information discussed. All right, so moving on to number 3, we have fish. And hopefully nobody needs convincing as to why fish is so tremendously healthy for you. We've got salmon, we've got cod, we've got tripe, we've got sole, we've got tuna, we've got oysters, we've got clams, we've got lobster, we've got shrimp, we've got a lot. A lot of fish, super healthy for you, very low calorie, very high protein. I don't want to convince you, eat more fish, really good for you. All right, moving on to number 4, we're gonna discuss all things dairy. And I know I'm gonna get kickback on this because everything has to be an argument in the fitness industry, but such is life. It doesn't just have to be milk. I drew the milk carton because I was actually pretty impressed with how it came out and I wanted to show you. But Keep in mind, milk isn't massively high in protein per calorie, but it's not insignificant either, so it is a good source of protein. There's also cottage cheese and Greek yogurt, which are my personal favorites. If you follow me on Instagram, which, hold on, pause. If you don't follow me on Instagram, what is wrong with you? You can do that here. I hope Rico won't put that on my face or something. Follow me on Instagram. Every morning I post, or not every morning, a lot of mornings I post my breakfast on Instagram. It's usually Greek yogurt, some ground up chia seeds, blueberries, things of the sort, some oatmeal with it as well. I try and have some type of Greek yogurt or cottage cheese every single day. For me, it is a very good low calorie, high protein option, especially when you're trying to lose weight, but even when you're trying to gain weight as well. Now let's go to number 5, the most impressive drawing of the day. This, actually I'm gonna give you a second to guess what that might be. This, tofu. I didn't know how to draw it, so I just drew a block. I think it looks actually pretty good. One of the reasons I wanted to include tofu and also things like seitan, I think that's how they call it, seitan, right? It looks like seitan to me, but they pronounce it seitan. There's another one, tofu, seitan, what is the other one? Tempeh, right. Thank you, Rico. Tofu, tempeh, seitan. When a lot of people think about protein, they only think about the animal products. Now, I'm not plant-based, I'm not vegan, but I support those who do choose that lifestyle. It is significantly harder to get protein in using that type of food choices, but you can still do it. Tofu, tempeh, seitan, they're very, very helpful, relatively high in protein, and I think they'd be a really good fit for you if you don't want to include animal protein or animal food in your diet, or even if you're not plant-based or you're not vegan and you want to include other options outside of animal types of foods, you can include these as well. Really good source. All right, moving on to number 6, we have a bean. Beans, lentils, edamame. The reason I drew the bean that way, because before there were the eyes or the hands or the mouth, it looked like something you might buy in a sex shop. So I didn't want to just leave that as was. I didn't want to leave it like that because someone was going to be like, oh, Jordan's talking about sex toys on his channel. No, it's a bean with a smiley face. Lentils, edamame, again, they aren't the highest protein sources. They don't have a ton of protein, but it's not insignificant. It is relatively high. It's a good source. And if you don't want animal protein, it's a really good option. All right, now let's talk about number 7, which is probably gonna be, again, controversial because everyone likes to fight in the fitness industry. Protein shakes, protein powders. Excuse me, I'm gonna take a drink. I really like these. Usually not the taste very much because most protein shakes and powders taste like chalk, but they're super convenient. And if at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night, you need to get more protein in and you don't feel like having a chicken breast, then you can just make a quick protein shake. Or if you're on the run and you don't have much time to cook something, or you don't have anything prepared, protein shake. They're very convenient. I do like them a lot. I usually only have about maybe 1 or 2 scoops a day at most. They're not bad for you. If you don't want to have them, you don't have to. If you do want to have them, great. Per scoop, they're relatively inexpensive depending on who you buy. I'll put a link in the description for the ones that I tend to use, but really you can't go wrong. I just try and get the ones with the lowest amount of sugars, the highest amount of protein, the least amount of calories per scoop. All right, going into the last one, we have, actually it's the second to last one, bear with me. For number 8, we have grab and go options, all right? This could be beef jerky or turkey jerky, which are my 2 personal favorites. If you wanted to have a protein bar, you can. They're not inherently bad for you. Personally, I don't like them. Usually most protein bars are very high sugar, very high calorie, and if they're not, they have some type of sugar alcohol that makes my stomach want to vomit. Personally, I prefer to stay away from protein bars. If I'm gonna have a high sugar, high calorie bar, it's just gonna be a Snickers. That being said, another option is protein chips, and Quest has amazing protein chips. Disclaimer, I am not getting paid by them. They're just really good. Low calorie, high protein. I like pressed protein chips a lot. I do not like their protein bars at all. Fair warning. Number 9. Number 9 is not any food whatsoever. A lot of people have been asking me for workouts for weight loss, workouts for fat loss. Keep in mind, number 1, the only way to lose weight, again, is to be in a calorie deficit. If you don't know how many calories to eat, click the link in my description for my weight loss calorie calculator. It's free. That being said, if you want to try some workouts, I have 101 free ones. It's 101 metabolic workouts that I use with my clients, my inner circle members. They're really, really effective, quick workouts you can do anywhere, anytime. I think you're really gonna like them. The link is in my description, or you could go to 101metabolicworkouts.com. As for the video, that is a wrap. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you don't already. Remember, Sorting Hat Squad is on, so if you want to enter to win a free month of my inner circle, leave a comment below. Talk to you soon.